even the part that's not moving. Okay? That's why it's this. Now, let's do the whole thing from beginning to end. Okay? And this one, we start to warm up the waist. Just now, we were here, Shangxin, Kaihe. The waist is not doing anything, right? Now we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing, turning. Okay? We're starting to stretch. And remember, when you stretch the body, you stretch the connective tissue. When you stretch the connective tissue, the cells in there called fibroblasts, they will secrete a signaling molecule called ATP that will activate pain relief and anti-inflammatory pathways. So stretching is very important. Just now we're not doing much. Now we're starting to. In the next one, we'll stretch even more. And also, the experiment showed that if you have low back pain, you have to stretch the low back. By stretching the upper back, it doesn't do any good. If you have upper back pain, you have to stretch the upper back. Stretching the lower back doesn't do any good. So when we do exercises, we want to stretch every single part of the body to prevent any single part of the body from going into aches and pains and inflammation. So I'm teaching you a set of 6 exercises, and that will take care of the whole body. But if you just go home and just do this and do this, these muscles are not exercised. These muscles are not exercised. That will come in number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. Okay, so it's a set. That's why 六合 Qigong is a system. Okay, so let's do this. This is for, as you can see, for arms, hands, wrists. Okay, not so much the neck. Okay, and legs. No, not so much. Shoulder and twisting the waist. Okay, think about that. Okay, breathe in. Think about the eyes too, right? Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stretching the waist in. Out. 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 In case you still don't know, we're videotaping this whole session, as we have been, videotaping every single session since 2015. And these are all posted on the South Coast Chinese Cultural Association.org website. You can go back 3 years, 4 years, and they're there. If you take video just for fun, for a few minutes is okay, but don't tape the whole thing. This is done very well, and because when you tape, you're not learning, okay? You want to learn here, and when you go home, you want to review, you look, but if you keep doing this, you're not learning as you should. So any questions on number 2? So this is 六合, okay? So you see, this would be front. Well, you can't do back, but anyway, 六合, not just front, but front and left, front and right, left only, right only. So back and out. So it's combination, unity, and it lets you focus on the hand here, and you focus here. If you look at it, okay. So it's all unity and harmony. Okay?
Excuse me.
Yes?
Do we have to flex or squeeze our muscles at any point throughout the movement, or no? At all times the muscles are relaxed.
Good question. So you notice that there are slides that I used for session number 1, number 2 on how flexing the muscles will let you secrete interleukin-6 that will break down fats all over the body. In 六合, 6 unity, Qigong, 六合 Qigong, actually, unless I tell you, don't flex. It's just very relaxed, very relaxed. When I tell you to flex, like number 6, then you flex. Okay, so it's just nice and soft. Okay? Someone, yes, question?
For the mind regulation, the last part, I can understand the first part, how you said to visualize and increase our imagination when we look into the horizon, out into nature, and bring the chi back. How does that connect to the last part? Because I can do this and visualize out, but then when I go this, I feel like it's not as connected. I'm not sure.
This is more for the neck. So up and down. Your neck is not moving. So this is for the benefit of not just the waist up and down, for your neck up and down. And what you think about is still the chi going up, chi going down, up, down. Okay. Yes, question in the back.
Is it always that when you go breathing, your hands out and your palms out?
Usually, yes.
Coming back.
Out, yeah. So it's like breathe in, breathe out. Very natural. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Then, unless I tell you otherwise, that's the natural way.
And every single one is to be done in 1 minute. You do six times in 1 minute.
6 times, 4 to 6 times in 1 minute. Yeah. Super. I mean, not 6 times. Breathe in, breathe out 6 times. I mean, this is breathe in, breathe out. In, out. This will take you more than a minute because there's so many different movements. Okay? All right, moving on. Huh? Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm still kind of trying to understand the last part. So when we do this, it seems like the circle's going this plane, this horizon.
Right.
We open to this side.
Right.
So we have actually 4 circles that we're doing on the
Right. Well, this is kind of up down, not a circle. This is like a circle. So this is this circle, and this is this circle. So two types of circle, and then the other side. So in case you don't see this clearly, what she's asking is, this is not a circle. This is straight up, straight down. This is a circle that goes from the front to the back, okay? So back and to the front. So the circle is this circle. And then this circle. So this circle. And the hands the reason why it's important to have the palm this way, because it actually uses different small muscles, okay? So when you're going up like this and down, it's different from, it's different from this, okay? Up, down. So now up like this, and then this way. Okay? then using the back here, this way. Any other questions? Yes?
What happens if you breathe slower than 6 per minute?
So if you slow it down to 4 times, 6 times, that's good. It's very difficult to slow it get slower than 4 times. Most people cannot do 2 times.
Do any harm or do any better?
No, unless you are highly trained like myself, I can bet you $1, you cannot breathe 2 times a minute. You will faint. You don't have enough oxygen. 4 times is about, most people can do 4 times. 3 times, 2 times. I mean, the deep sea divers, they could, one breath, they could hold it for 2 minutes, but they're highly trained. But normally you cannot breathe that slowly. So in our laboratory, we show that if you slow it down to 4 to 6 times, you have the increase in blood flow. If you 8 times, you don't. Normally you breathe 12 times, you certainly don't. That's your normal. But if you slow it down to 4 to 6, then there's an increased blood flow. And actually medically, there's a term for it. It's called respiratory sinus arrhythmia. When you breathe in slowly, your heart rate goes boom, 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 boom. When you breathe out, boom, 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 boom. Breathe in, boom, 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 boom. So you create higher cardiac output and going back to normal. Higher. So that's why you get these waves of increased blood flow. But if you breathe fast, then the effect is not there. Any other questions? All right, number 3 coming up. Xing Qing Zhang Su. Ascend and cleanse. Descend and clear the turbidity. Okay? So, the body, okay? This is a good exercise for the hands, the arms, the waist, the neck, the eyes. Again, stretching. You can stretch like that. That's called a linear stretch. But a lot of times, when you do this, these are major muscles. But when you do this, there's smaller muscles involved. And you need to exercise the smaller muscles too. So if you just stretch like this, it's not enough. You want to do to the side. Just like, just now we were doing side, okay? So this one goes up and down, but to the side. So when you go up and down to the side, you use smaller muscles on the back that you normally don't use if you just go up and down. Breathing, the same. Intent, okay? So, it's like telling a story, okay? So movement. You raise your hand up to the side, okay? To the side. And then you go down to the side. Now, here's the intent. You go up and collect qi from the sky. Okay? You take the qi, and there's a basin of water here, for like xilian pan, okay? You put the qi in the water. So the water is now saturated with qi. Don't tape anymore, please. Don't tape, okay? They're taping. So you put the water in the qi in the water. So this is qi water. And you splash the qi water onto your face. And you go back down, and you get some more, splash it all over your body. See? A nice thought, okay? So The qi is like gas, okay? But you like dissolve the gas in water, so you have nice qi water, splash on the face, splash on the body, then you can really absorb the qi, right? So, let's do it like this. So, collect the qi and put it in the basin of water, and pan, and now just come only halfway, okay? Just splash on the face, okay? You don't want to, okay? It's just like this. Splash on the face, go down, get more, and now splash, big splash, all over your body. And then other side, okay? Get some qi from the right side, put it in the water, splash it on the face, splash it all over the body. So what you're doing, of course, you're exercising your arms and legs, but you are twisting your body left and right. That's a rotational stretch, which is different from a linear stretch. Breathing. Simple. When you go up, you breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now, let me tell you something else, okay? When we do breathing regulation, we want to breathe in, breathe out, in, out. Very uniform. You don't want to be fast, slow, no. You don't want to be fast, slow, fast, slow. No, you want to be even, okay? So, but just now, I said, just a small splash and a big splash. Well, you use your body to match the breathing, not the breathing to match the body. So when you do a small movement with the breathing, you do it slow because, the breathing is still there 6 times a minute. When you have to move more, move a little bit faster. You don't change the rate of breathing. The rate of breathing is always 6 times a minute. But the movement can be a little bit faster, a little bit slower, okay, depending on movement. See? So this is a small movement. This is a big movement. So big movement, you have to move a little bit faster. Don't match your breathing. Don't go slow breathing, fast breathing. No? So make it all even, okay? So think about this when you do this. All right. So let's do both sides. Breathe in. Breathe out. Splash on the face, breathe in. Very slow movement. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Outside, breathe in. Breathe out. Small movement. Breathe in, slow movement. Out. Breathe in. Breathe out. In and out. So you see the difference, right? So if you were not looking at me, just listen to my breathing, it's always even. You look at me, I'm actually moving a little bit faster, a little bit slower, depending on how much I have to move to match the breathing. In our laboratory, we put a strap around the chest, and the strap has an electronic sensor to record breathing in, breathing out. So if you're breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, we could see it on the computer, very even. If you breathe in slow, breathe in fast, breathe in slow, then the peaks will be different. We can tell that. So we want you to breathe very evenly in and out.
So in other words, the regulating initiated from the breathing.
Right. So your breathing is your kind of pacemaker. the body matches the breathing, not the other way around.
Like Tai Chi.
Yeah. Mhm. Right. Any questions on this? So this is number 3. Okay.
One question.
Ah.
Can you go back to the last slide? Please?
Yeah.
What is the last word? Qing Qing Gong.
Exhaustive for gas. Exhaustive
Well, no. Okay. Another example. Okay. Water. 清的水，清，牛奶，煮turbid，right？ 这看不透的，您不会看繁体字是吧？这是繁体字。清水 ，the opposite of 清水 ，opposite clear water and turbid water. Yeah. So in this case, clear water is good. Okay. Dirty water, you know. Yeah. So you get the clean water onto your face, into your body, the qi, and throw away the dirty stuff.
林教授
Yeah.
氢是3点水，不是2点。
Oh. That's a computer. I don't know why. Qing means clear. Oh, clear.